All right, guys. So, in today's video, we're basically going to, not we, in today's video, I'm basically going to share my experience that I had in India. With that being said, to answer all of the comments, asking me, have I ever been to India? Yes, I have. I've been to India alone by myself before I even met my husband, before I even knew he existed. Let's see. Okay, so the first time I went to India was like February, March 2018. Yeah, February, March 2018. I went there to visit my friend. I stayed with her and her parents, and so I flew into Delhi. And then I traveled to Rajasthan, and then we went to Punjab together. She lives in Rajasthan, but yeah. So let me tell you the journey, how that went, and then I'll go to the second trip in India because that was in a totally different location. So I had different experiences, and yeah. All right, cool. All right. So the first time I went to India, basically, I just got on a plane or whatever. My mom, my family was like extremely scared with me leaving and going out of the country because it was my first time going out of the country, and I was going by myself. I wasn't necessarily scared. I was nervous because I didn't know what to expect, but I'm a pretty prepared person. I YouTubed and researched and did everything I possibly could to see what I may need to bring. I wrote down numbers just in case, excuse me, just in case my phone didn't work. So many things. So I'm on my way to India. First of all, I would like to mention, when it comes to flights, honey, I always get the cheapest flights. I've been round trip to India paying the most max at $900. I've never paid more than $900 to round trip to fly to India. Never. Because listen, when it comes to traveling, honey, and them flight tickets, I'm going to find the deal. I'm going to find the cheapest time every time. And the least amount that I've paid is like $600 round trip. And when I told my husband that, like, he was like, girl, because I always paid like $1,000, $1,200, $300, whatever, you know. But I'm not doing that. See, because if it can be cheaper, I'm going the cheaper way. And I had lovely flights. I haven't had any issues or anything. I mean, mainly I sleep most of the time on the flight anyway. But yeah, so back to the story. I was rambling. So I'm on my way. I left out of Charlotte or either Georgia. Those are the only two I leave out of. Charlotte, North Carolina, or Atlanta, Georgia. And the first time I flew into Amsterdam, and from Amsterdam I flew to Delhi. The trip from, if I'm not mistaken, it was Atlanta. From Atlanta to Amsterdam, it was a great flight. I always fly like in the evening. So it's about time my brain to go to bed anyway. So I go to sleep or whatever, and I have a pretty good flight. And anyway, when I finally reached India, this is the big part. When I finally reached India, I remember getting off of the plane. I remember it was warmer, and I was in love. I was like, oh my God, yes. Because I love to be warm. I do not like to be cold. So the warm weather, I wasn't even fully off the plane yet, but you know, you could feel like the climate change. It went from like cold and sticky to, honey, it was feeling good. Okay. It was warm. And it was like in the evening time. No, it wasn't in the evening. It was morning time, but it still was dark outside. And I remember the smell of like smoke, like something like, not like cigarette smoke or anything, just like smoke, like maybe something is burning. I remember that smell, and I was like, that's different, you know? So I got off the plane and, like I said, I landed in Delhi, and immediately it was so many people. When I say so many people, it was ridiculous. I had never seen that. Like in the other airports that I was in, yes, it was a lot of people, but it was like we were touching like people, boom, boom, boom. Okay. So yeah, it was like a lot of people, and I was like, okay. In my head, I talked to myself, like oh my God, what do I do now? Like, here, what are you doing? You know? So anyway, yeah, so I was talking to myself. I was like, okay. And the whole time, my friend, her cousin was coming to get me from the airport because she was in Rajasthan and she didn't travel to Delhi to get me. We traveled to her. And so her cousin and my mom were back and forth. Did she arrive yet? Did she already leave yet? It was like hilarious. Once I finally got to India, they were telling me about it, and I just thought it was the funniest thing because I was freaking out thinking, you know, how am I going to communicate with both of these people? And they were communicating with each other. It worked out perfectly. But I came in and I just wore like some leggings and a long sleeve shirt because, like I said, I am a cold natured person and I didn't want to be cold. And I also knew that India was conservative, or that's what I thought. That's what I had heard. So I didn't want to be disrespectful to anyone's culture or bring too much attention to myself. I don't too much care for too much attention. It's just like, yeah, I don't want it. Okay. So I tried not to stick out as a sore thumb, and honestly speaking, I did anyway. Because of course there were all types of people there, but majority of the people were Indian. But anyway, so I went through customization and everything. Everybody was just like, not everybody, the people at the little thing, I think that's you know how like when you get there you got to get your little stamp, your little visa stamp. I had already had my visa and everything, but they were like, what are you doing here in India? I said, I'm coming to visit a friend. And they were like, oh, okay, is it your first time? I was like, yeah, it's my first time. They were really nice. They wasn't you know, mean or anything. They were very helpful. And I needed to charge my phone, and my phone was almost completely dead. The first time I went to India, I didn't know that my phone wouldn't work. I just was assuming, okay, I can just connect to internet somewhere and everything would be fine. Well, in theory that would be fine, but first of all, my phone wouldn't charge. It wouldn't charge. I couldn't charge it because I didn't know the outlets in India or in any other parts of the world were different from the ones we have in America. We have like the two little lines like this with a little dot in the middle. That's what we have. But in India, they have like these little circle things. It's different. And so I didn't know that the first time I went. And so my phone was dying. And for whatever reason, I couldn't connect to the internet, the Wi-Fi. So I couldn't contact my mom or anybody. But I had a little bit of previous knowledge about India, and so I knew about something called Airtel or something like that, and I knew that was something dealing with a phone. So when I seen Airtel, like little signs or whatever, I was like, okay, excuse me, let me go towards those signs and let me try to make a call. Went over there to the sign. There was the little guy standing over there. And I was just like, I need to call somebody. So he was like, do you need help? And I was like, he was like, is it in America or India? I said India. And the reason why I was calling someone in India was because I just felt like, okay, I'm already here. I already know it's probably going to be more costly to call back home. At least let me get with the person that I'm supposed to be here. So I called, and he was able to come and get me. My friend's cousin was able to come and get me because he lived in Delhi, in the Noida area. And so he was coming to get me to take me to my friend. In Rajasthan. So I just called him. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Where are you? He's like, I'm here too. Where are you? We was trying to find each other. Anyway, we found each other. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I actually got out, it was about it was daylight at this point. It was like 5, 6, maybe 7. I think I landed there like around like 4 or 5. But by the time I actually got out, it was daylight. Even though when I got off the plane, it was like night. Like it was dark outside, but it was morning. And so I got with him, and then we rode. We rode. We rode in the car to his place so that I could be able to, get everything together. Because at night we was going to get on a sleeper bus. I didn't know that either. The sleeper bus situation. I didn't know anything about a sleeper bus. I never heard anything about a sleeper bus, and I thought it was so cool. So I went there, I took a shower and everything and got dressed, and he was like, well, we got some time to buy. He was like, well, what do you want to do in India? I was like, it doesn't matter to me. Now I don't know what you guys really have. He was like, well, let's go to the mall. I'm the type of traveler, I don't mind like seeing, like, I want to see the authentic stuff. I don't want to see like the touristy areas or whatever. I want to experience something out of this world, basically. But anyway, I never had been to a mall in India or anywhere else besides the US. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Let's go to the mall. So he's like, okay, well, we're gonna drive on my bike. And when he said bike, in America, when you say bike, a lot of the times you think about a bicycle, like like the manual bicycle, right? And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's get on the bike, whatever. And then the motorcycle came out, because that's what we call a bike, motorcycle. And so when the motorcycle came out, I'm like, oh my God, okay. I was like, this is my first time on a motorcycle. So I was really nervous, and I'm a little juicy, I'm cute, but I'm a little juicy. So I was like, okay, is this gonna be able to hold me? Okay. I was terrified, not only because I've never been on a bike, but also because on the way from the airport to his place to kind of like put all my stuff down and everything, that was my first time experiencing Indian traffic, and I was terrified. And the cab driver guy, whoever was driving us, he was laughing. He thought it was so funny that I was like, oh my God, oh my God. They just thought that was hilarious. But that was the first time I had seen that, and that was something that I didn't prepare myself for. So anyway, after that, we went to the mall, and the mall was really nice. So we looked around. I tried pani puri in the mall, and that was my first time doing that, and I thought it was really good. I was like, okay, cool, I can get used to this. It's pretty good. And I told him, I'm going to insert a clip right here, but I told him that it reminded me of McDonald's chicken nuggets. Mind you, I've been a vegetarian for some time, but I still remember how meat tastes for the most part. Sometimes certain stuff I don't remember. So after that happened, that evening we got on a sleeper bus, and I just remember people looking and looking at me and stuff like that, and I was feeling shy, why are people staring at me? But then I tried to think of it from their perspective, maybe they haven't seen someone like me. But I mean, I know for sure there are other black people in India. Black meaning African, black meaning the kind of black I am, and black meaning darker skin tone Indians. But I mean, I kind of, everybody has different mannerisms, so that may have piqued their curiosity or whatever. They never said anything. Sometimes people would say hi, or giggle, whatever. But I didn't mind for the most part. Then after that, we got on the sleeper bus, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So it's like this, or maybe it's a sleeper train. I don't remember. Anyway, we did a sleeper bus. I know for sure, because that one didn't have the rail things. and I'm speaking like this, guys, because I come from a really small town, so I don't really use too much public transportation. Of course, I do know what the difference between a bus or train, da 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 da. But when I was there, I wasn't responsible for any of those things, so I am not 100% sure. And this was a few years ago. So we got on a sleeper bus first, and the sleeper bus took us to Rajasthan. It was fine. I remember at different like stops or whatever, it was this guy that would make like, he would say something of, I don't understand Hindi. Well, I didn't at the time. I kind of understand a little bit more now, but he would say things and he'd be like blah 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 blah, something like this. I don't know what he was saying. But it was like in that tone. And so I would be asking her cousin, hey, are we here? Are we here? I think we're here. And he was like, no, we're not here. We still got a long way to go. Yeah, so eventually we arrived there, and my friend, they came to get us from, my friend and her father, they came to get us from the sleeper bus area. And we gave each other a hug and everything, and we went back to her house. And actually, that day was holy. So we went to her house, and I immediately like put my stuff down and everything, and we played holy with everyone in the neighborhood. Like when I say everyone in the neighborhood. And we went like to her neighbor's house, and other people's house, even her other relatives and everything. And they like made me food. They were so sweet, so nice. And then we ended up going to Punjab maybe after a few days. And we went to the Golden Temple, which was very nice. I had never been to any religious area besides like a Christian Baptist church. So that was a different experience for me. I learned that, you know, you have to, I think it was the Golden Temple. So you had to like cover your hair, and I'll insert a picture there too. You had to like cover your head. I remember we got food there. Like we sat down on the floor, and this guy, I think it was a guy, he would just come around and he would just like put food on our tray, and the food was amazing, absolutely amazing. And then we went to a few other places. We rode in like the metro train situation, and I remember this guy, he was just looking at me, and I was just like, why is he looking at me like that? But I didn't say anything, of course. And then he said something to my friend's cousin, and my friend's cousin looked annoyed, like maybe he said something he didn't have any business saying. And so I didn't say anything right then and there, but my friend's cousin kind of pushed us over to the side, like, you know, like this, because whatever he said, he didn't like what he said. So then after that, when we finally did get to our destination, I asked my friend, I was like, what did that guy say? He said something. I say, you don't have to, you know, like sugarcoat anything for me. I want to know what he said, because I know 9 times out of 10, it was something that was rude or something he shouldn't have said. I was like, but I'm not like my feelings don't get hurt easily. I mean, honestly speaking, if I would have known what he said, I probably would have snapped back. However, I didn't know the rules of India, and I'm not trying to be locked up in nobody's country. You understand? So, yeah, so she told me that he said something about, is that a wig or something like that? And I was like, and I guess that's, to other people, that's offensive. It's not offensive to me, because I have real hair, a lot of it actually. But, and I'll insert some pictures, just because a lot of times black women have, it's this false concept that black women don't have hair or don't have real hair just because we wear extensions, and it's not true at all. So him saying that didn't necessarily offend me. I actually would have asked, you know, you can give me some of your rupees and buy me some more hair if you want to, while you in my business, but I didn't say that because I'm nice. Yeah, but I was like, yeah, that's not offensive to me at all. I mean, she was like, yeah, but he tried to be rude. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I know, I understand. So after that, on my last day in India, we was in Delhi. We went to the lotus flower or something. It looked like a lotus flower. It's like the thing that's in Australia, but it's not. And then we went to like a place where like a war situation happened, and they were like shooting the people, and that's in Delhi as well. But I'm not 100% sure. I forgot. Oh, and I'm missing a very big part. Okay. I'm not sure what those two areas in Delhi are called. If you guys know, comment below. It's like a lotus temple situation was one of them. And then the other place was like where like a war happened or something, and they were like shooting, and a lot of people died or something like that. I remember like it was like brick, or not necessarily brick. It was like a brownish type whatever. I also went to this area where Sultan, the Bollywood movie Sultan, was filmed. And it was like steps that was downward, and then it had like some arches on the side or something like that. I'll insert a picture if I can, guys. Like I said, that's been like 2018. So a lot of the pictures and everything I'm having to retrieve from Facebook, and that is pretty hard considering I take a lot of pictures and upload them. And the pictures were mainly just to show my family, and just so that they know that I'm fine. I had to constantly reassure them that I am okay. So yeah, that was that. We also went to this place. Oh my God, what was I about to say? God. We also went to this place. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go back. My last day in India, we went to this place where like I don't know, where you can like it almost looked like a carnival. It must have been like somewhere near the old metro station or something like that in Delhi. And that was really fun as well. I was about to say something else pertaining to the story, and I forgot. Let's see, hold on. Okay, so I told y'all about that. Told you about yes, very important. The Wagga-border, or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it was like the border of, when we was in Punjab, this happened. It was like the border of India and Pakistan, and the little the soldiers was like marching, and I have videos of that too, but it's on Snapchat. Not sure if I can put it there, but if I can, I'll insert it here as well. And it was I had never seen marching like that. Our soldiers march like 90-degree angles, like this, and their soldiers was marching like this, and I was like, oh my God, it was the most amazing thing ever. And I also tried pan there. I tried pan, I think, in Delhi. I'm not 100% sure. But yes, I did. And yeah, and so the Wagga-border area, I liked that place too. It was very nice. I was learning like a lot of the history and everything. People just was telling me stuff because I'm very eager to know about other places and things of that nature. So yeah, so that happened. Another thing that happened during this time of the trip, this is gonna be a long video, I promise. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. Is my friend's mom, her mom was like, so do you like spicy? I was like, yeah, I love spicy. And so she was like, okay. It's like they kind of wanted to test my spiciness. So she made something spicy, and I was like, she was like, is it spicy? I was like, no, not really. I mean, you know, it's okay. It's spicy, but whatever. So they was like, okay, I'm gonna give you something spicier. So then they just kept trying to increase the spiciness, and they were just so shocked that I was able to tolerate spicy. But I mean, back home we eat spicy all the time. And another thing that culturally I kind of heard about was like, if someone offers you food, you need to take it, or it'll be like disrespectful or rude. I mean, of course they're going to tell you that you don't have to eat it, but you should, you know. So my friend mom, the first day I was there, I ate Indian food here, but it was only a few different things, and I had been a vegetarian for some time. I just kind of catered my food that I eat normally, like my Black American food, to like I just removed the meat basically. And then on occasions I would, you know, try to cook something Indian, or I would go out to an Indian restaurant to eat. So as far as like just eating Indian food daily, I hadn't experienced a lot of things until I went to my friend's mom's house. And she was like, what would you like to eat? Would you like, she named a few different dishes. I don't remember specifically, but I didn't know the name. You know, I didn't know what that dish was. And I didn't want to say, yeah, of course. And then I get it and then I won't eat it, you know. And then it'll be a waste of food. So she was like, and do you want salad? And I was like, yeah, I'll just have a salad instead. Thinking, okay, I know for sure you can't mess up a salad, right? And whenever Aunt Sheikah eats it, I'll just see what what she eats, and if it looks good to me, or if I want to try it, or if I think I can try it, then I'll ask for that as well. So I was like, yeah, I'll just have a salad. She was like, is that gonna be enough for you? And I was like, yeah, I eat salads all the time. So when this salad came out, it was literally cucumbers, tomatoes, and like onions or something. And I was not expecting that, honey. I was not expecting that at all. So in America, we consider a salad like lettuce, some type of leafy something. You can do like spinach, romaine lettuce, kale, anything. And then you would have like cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles. You can do olives. I'm not a fan of those, but you can do them. You can put basically anything. It's just a whole bunch of stuff in the thing, right? And you can even add eggs. You can add chicken, shrimp, fish, whatever you want to put in it, basically. I don't know about fish. Wait a minute now. Maybe you're exaggerating. Maybe not fish. But yeah, you put any kind of meat or whatever you want to have in it. And with me being a vegetarian, I wouldn't add meat, but I do eat eggs occasionally. But now that I eat Indian food all the time, I don't necessarily have to eat eggs as much as I used to. But yeah, so I was eating eggs at the time, all the time. And so I was just like, ooh, this is not going to fill me up, you know? Yeah, so